We began with the deep mystery, why we have inner experience at all, and traveled through thought experiments of copying minds, into novels and animations where reality itself could twist or dissolve, and finally into music where machines seem to have hearts. It's been a journey to understand truly what's at stake with the idea of mind uploading. And at the end of it, we find that we're really asking, what does it mean to be human, and can that essence be preserved or even elevated when we merge with our technological creations? The hard problem of consciousness reminds us that there is something precious and puzzling at the core of being human, our capacity to feel, to know ourselves from the inside. Any future of uploading or AI that doesn't honor that is likely to go astray. If we treat minds as nothing more than data to be copied, we might end up with perfect simulations that fundamentally lack the spark that makes life worth living. On the other hand, if we understand what gives our lives meaning, our experiences, our relationships, our continuous sense of self, then maybe we can carry those into whatever new mediums await, or even use those mediums to enhance our inner lives. One striking realization is that uploading isn't just science fiction. In some ways, it's already happening in our lives bit by bit. Every time you share your thoughts online or store a memory in a photo or external drive, you're effectively offloading a piece of your mind into the digital world. We create avatars, profiles, and digital records that may continue to exist even when we log off or even after we die. Think about social media. A profile can kind of live on, and friends might revisit it to remember someone. That's a rudimentary form of digital legacy, if not a mind. We can also extend ourselves with technology, using GPS so we don't have to remember routes, using search engines as an extension of our knowledge. We are, as philosopher Andy Clark puts it, natural-born cyborgs already, integrating tools into our cognition. In essence, part of us is uploaded in countless servers and clouds around the world already, in terms of information and aspects of identity. So the question isn't, will we upload, but rather, how will we manage the ongoing process of uploading parts of ourselves? Will we do it in a way that actually weakens our humanity, like Jack Gladney numbing himself with media, or Lain losing herself in the network? Or will we do it in a way that actually strengthens our humanity, like Jamie Page finding a new creative voice through Vocaloids? There are some key values to keep front and center as we navigate this. The first is agency. We should aim to keep humans in control of our narratives and choices. In a future mind uploading scenario, that means the person undergoing it should have autonomy. It shouldn't be something done to them without their consent, nor should the resulting digital being be immediately exploited or controlled by others. In the present day, agency means not letting our digital habits be completely dictated by algorithms or peer pressure, but rather using tech intentionally, like Lain eventually chose her path. She wasn't just swept up. We too need to choose how we engage. The second is connection. The whole point of extending life or going digital, arguably, is to continue to have meaningful relationships and experiences. If technology severs our connections or makes them shallow, like preferring the photo of the barn to being there with a friend, or having 1,000 online quote-unquote friends but no one to really talk to, then it's not serving its best purpose. We should ask how uploading tech could foster genuine connection, perhaps allowing people to communicate beyond physical limits or preserve important memories to share with future generations. The optimistic view is that virtual environments could let us meet minds we never could have thought otherwise, bridging distances, even bridging eras. But we must design them to encourage empathy and understanding, not just stimulus and spectacle. The third is spirit. This word can be interpreted broadly, perhaps meaning the human spirit of curiosity, compassion, creativity. It's that ineffable quality that makes us seek meaning and feel awe. In a world increasingly mediated by screens and code, we have to nurture that spirit. Maybe it's through art, like our music examples, or through philosophy and self-reflection, like we're doing now. If one day someone uploads their mind, we hope that their capacity to appreciate beauty, to feel love, to ponder existence, in short, their spirit remains intact and maybe even gets more room to play. Chalmers' Reality Plus argues that a virtual life can be a meaningful life with rich experiences as long as we engage with it sincerely. These tools might change, but the heart we bring to them is ours to keep. As we close, it's worth taking a reflective breath. These topics can sometimes trigger fear. Fear of the unknown, fear of losing oneself, fear of death, or its flip side in unnatural immortality. They can also trigger excitement, the allure of transcending our biological limits, exploring new frontiers of existence. It's easy to get swept into extreme emotions on either side, whether dystopian despair or utopian hype. But philosophy teaches us to find a thoughtful middle path. We don't have to either dread or worship technology. We can engage with it critically and compassionately, and through that find depth and meaning and enjoyment in and of itself. Think of it this way. What do we really want when we talk about mind uploading or AI or any of these advances? We want, I'd argue, to be seen and known, to not be erased by time, to carry our relationships and joys forward, and to maybe avoid unnecessary suffering. We want to persist as ourselves, yes, but not just in the sense of raw existence. We want to persist in a way that is recognizably us with our values and experiences intact. Whether that's achieved biologically, by living a long natural life, or cybernetically with neural implants and such, or digitally as an upload, the end goal is a kind of the same, to flourish as human or post-human beings. So rather than asking, should we upload or not, perhaps the better question is, how can we ensure that whatever we do with our minds and technology leads to genuine flourishing? That might mean setting ethical guardrails, like ensuring conscious AI, if it exists, has rights and isn't abused, and that we don't use uploads to just copy people without their say. It also means soul-searching, understanding what matters to us about being who we are. If you believe your relationships are what define you, then any future where you continue, biologically or digitally, must nurture those relationships. If you believe a certain creative pursuit is your essence, then you want the tools to carry that on. This course, Mind, Machines, and Persons, ultimately encourages exactly this type of reflection. It's not here to tell you a correct answer, but to give you frameworks and stories so you can make your own thoughtful stance. We've seen that a mind is not just a pattern or a piece of hardware, it's also a narrative, a point of view, and an interconnection with others. If uploading is to mean anything, it must respect those facets. Uploading already happens when we share and extend ourselves, and each time we have to ask, is this extension aligned with who I truly am and want to be? When we curate an Instagram feed, when we engage in virtual reality, when we one day might scan our memories, each is an act of translation of self, and we should strive to make these translations as authentic and life-affirming as possible. In the end, whether or not any of us literally upload our mind to a computer one day, we all face the challenge of preserving our identity and humanity throughout change, be it technological or just normal changes of life. The tools might be new, but the fundamental human task is ancient: to live meaningfully, to adapt without losing oneself, and to connect with others in this process. Technology, like any tool, can either help or hinder that mission, but it's up to us collectively to guide it wisely. So I invite you to carry these questions forward beyond this talk. Next time you use a piece of smart technology, or even when you're lost in social media scrolling, take a moment to ask, how is this affecting my mind or my sense of self? Am I using it, or is it using me? And imagine what you'd want if you were the first person about to upload their mind. What ground rules and values would you insist on? By thinking about these things now, we're not just preparing for a sci-fi hypothetical future, we're making conscious choices in the present, because in many respects, the future is already here in seed form. So let's approach that future neither with blind fear or blind optimism, but with open eyes and an open heart. If you do that, whatever comes, we'll be better prepared to ensuring that our minds and machines together serve the flourishing of persons. After all, technology should be ultimately in service of human well-being. The moment it's not, we need to recalibrate. But used wisely, it could help us know ourselves better and share ourselves more deeply, perhaps even one day beyond the limits of flesh. Thanks for listening.